I find it odd how whenever something wrong goes on in our life, whether it's our fault or it isn't, we're so quick to find ways to judge ourselves, blame ourselves, have all these negative thoughts about what's just occurred, and we're so good at doing that right away. But on the other hand, when something positive happens in our life, or you're successful in an endeavor, you achieve something you've been trying to accomplish for some time, we find all these ways to brush off what we've just done as, a fluke, or somebody else helped me do this or that, or some other outside factor was the reason you succeeded in this. And we make it so hard, there's so much friction in our being for just the simple fact of, giving yourself a pat on the back whenever you do something positive for your life. It doesn't even matter if it's some super grand big thing. You get a degree, or you get a new job or something like that. You get into a relationship. It can even be like the simple small stuff on a day-to-day basis. You went out and you exercise, you made yourself a meal instead of ordering something in, and it varies for everybody. But my whole point is we're so quick to bully ourselves when we do something wrong or something doesn't go to plan. But we can never, take a breath and say, good job myself for doing this or that. And I find it strange in a world where, you really need to be your own best friend, and you need to be your own support network, because if you can't be there for yourself, how do you expect other people to want to be there for you? And other people aren't always reliable. There might be points in your life where you are the only person that you have, and if the majority of your thoughts are negative ones, and you can't even be there for yourself in the times where you do accomplish something and you do achieve something you've been trying to accomplish for a while, then what do you think is going to happen in the long run? You need to be content with yourself and who you are, and it doesn't matter whatever struggles or paths in life you're trying to make your way through. When you hit those little checkpoints, you need to be able to give yourself a pat on the back and be positive, celebrate the tiny wins, same way as you would celebrate the big wins in life. And I just wanted to maybe make this video as a gentle reminder for those of you who have a hard time, being proud of yourself for even just accomplishing the little things on a day-to-day basis, because I do truly believe we could all use a little bit more support for ourselves, and there's no better place to get that from yourself. And when you can build that ideal relationship with yourself, where when things don't work out the way you want them to, you don't beat yourself up over it, and you don't bully yourself with all these negative thoughts, those are the ones you should shrug off and say, hey, I'll do better next time, and not the positive ones and just brushing it off as an accident or fluke or some luck. You really say, hey, I did this, I accomplished it in a way that worked for me, and you need to be able to celebrate that and be thankful that you had the skills and the mindset to do whatever it was that you accomplished, and it doesn't need to be a big thing. Life is made up of little moments, and those are the ones that, when you celebrate those little by little, that's the majority of your life, are those little moments. So those really are the ones you want to be celebrating, because the massive moments don't always happen every day. Well, obviously they don't happen every day, but sometimes it's years and years in between big moments like that in your life. So you need to find a way to appreciate the little moments for what they are, because those make up the bulk of your life. So this was just a quick video, just a little reminder for the people that had a hard time, just taking a moment to thank themselves for what they were able to accomplish. And maybe this will remind you to be a little bit more gentle with yourself and celebrate those little moments for what they are, because they're big. Even if in the moment they seem small, they add up to something much, much greater than you can imagine. So thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. See you.